News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
2 people just taken into custody after a woman is shot during an argument between 2 people in downtown Detroit. And good evening. The shooting happening just before the fireworks began.
Mara McDonald is live on the scene. Mara, what have you learned?
Steve, first off, let me tell you that everything is developing right now and the situation is fluid. We are anticipating a press conference with one of the assistant chiefs here probably in the next couple minutes or so. That said, let me take you through what we know. Take a look behind me. Per police sources, they are telling us that this shooting went down right here at Woodward and Jefferson, nearly in front of the Spirit of Detroit. Here's the breakdown of what we're being told. That you had a group of either late teenagers, like 17, 18, or potentially in their early 20s. These boys are out here fighting. Unclear what the argument was about. Somebody pulls out a gun and starts firing. They hit a woman. We are told she's in her 40s, potentially 47 years old, who was not part of the argument, who was not with him, who had nothing to do with any of this. She gets hit in the hip. Now, as you can see, we are essentially right in the middle of police command down here. Detroit police officers were there seconds after those shots were fired. They are telling us that they have taken 2 people of interest into custody in connection with that shooting. That woman who was shot in the hip was transported to Detroit Receiving Hospital. And we are also told that they recovered a firearm. They believe it is the firearm that was used. So as we speak right now, 2 in custody, 2 people of interest, victim transported to the hospital, undergoing treatment right now, and we are awaiting a press conference with one of the assistant chiefs that should be happening here in the next couple minutes or so. Of course, when that happens, we'll bring it to you live. We are live downtown right now. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Also breaking tonight, a high-speed chase comes to a crashing end into a home. We've learned speeds in that chase reached 100 miles an hour.
Well, Tim Pamplin with the night cam is on the scene in Berkeley.
Quite an incredible sight here tonight along Catalpa at Coolidge in Berkeley. Royal Oak Police in a high-speed pursuit after that town car. Driver loses control, careens into several cars and the porch of the Mack family.
Looking outside my window and seeing my front porch destroyed and seeing how close it was to my house is absolutely terrifying. And my heart's still racing a bit from it, so.
I'm being told speeds of up to 100 miles an hour down Woodward. They hung a right onto Catalpa into Berkeley. That's where the driver lost control, crashing into Kevin's cars. Police immediately took one into custody. Another one, the passenger, got out and ran.
That's when my kids got a little scared. So I sent them upstairs, locked the doors because I saw a man run into my backyard.
But again, fortunately, the children of the home had just gone inside when this collision occurred. Shudder to think what could have happened here. So back out here along Catalpa at Coolidge, one in custody, one on the loose after a high-speed pursuit through Royal Oak. That's the scene in Berkeley with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right, a very frightening situation in Berkeley. Thank you, Tim. Also breaking tonight, a federal judge in Detroit has halted the deportation of Iraqi nationals across the country. Those deportations were set to begin tomorrow, but tonight the judge ordered a 2-week stay. The ACLU argued that the men would face imminent danger if sent back to Iraq.
Violates federal and international law to send individuals back to Iraq to be tortured, persecuted, or killed.
The ruling protects more than 1,400 Iraqis nationwide who are scheduled for deportation. But this is only a 2-week stay. Expect more hearings on the matter in the coming days. We will, of course, bring you every new development as it happens.
Last month, a DDOT bus slammed into a building on Detroit's west side. Tonight, we see video of that crash as it happened from several different angles. That speeding SUV right there blew through a stop sign, hit the bus. That's what sent that bus into the building. The impact tossed the driver out of his seat, sent passengers flying. 5 people were hurt in that crash.
A tearful apology from the co-owner of the pharmacy responsible for the deadly 2012 meningitis outbreak. Barry Caden will spend 9 years in prison for the tainted steroid shots that led to the deaths of 76 people, 23 of them in Michigan. He was the co-owner of New England Compounding Center in Massachusetts. In September, the company's pharmacist is set to go on trial. Amazon wants a bigger presence in Metro Detroit.
This means jobs, and that's good. According to Cranes, the online giant plans to open a second fulfillment center, this one in Romulus, and it would create 1,600 new jobs. The second center is all dependent upon a $5 million business grant to be considered tomorrow by Michigan's Strategic Fund. Now, we have reached out to Amazon, but they have told us no comment on any specific plans.
Another spectacular show over the Detroit River has come to a close. And the crowds are clearing out from downtown Detroit where the Ford fireworks just wrapped up. What an evening.
It was just spectacular, isn't it? Jason Colthorpe live on Belle Isle where a lot of families gathered to watch the show. Jason.
They sure did, Steve. We couldn't hear the music so well. It was a little less Adele, a little more raindrops. People started running for cover when it started. A little more on that in a minute. But a lot of families out here, a lot of people enjoying this. And a lot of these traditions with these families go back generations.
Temperatures may have been 30 degrees below last year, but the view was 30 times more beautiful from Belle Isle as the sun set on the Motor City. As the island filled up, families and friends killed time any way they could. And who wouldn't flip for this fantastic fireworks show?
It's cool for us because the first time we went, we had just started dating. The next year, we were engaged. Oh, no, we were about to be engaged. She didn't know that. But and then this year is the first time we've ever come to Belle Isle.
In the past, we've gone downtown or we've watched it from one of the taller buildings in Detroit.
For others, it's a family tradition. Tell me what you feel when you see those fireworks go off.
It's pretty.
Have you had anything to eat today?
Yes.
I can tell. Are you ready for the fireworks?
Yes.
What's your favorite part?
The colors.
They had never been here before, and I wanted to continue the tradition because I brought my kids here and other grandkids to the fireworks, and I've been talking to them about it. I said this was a good time to do it.
Are you worried that you might fall asleep tonight, Edward?
Yes.
But there was no sleeping once the show started.
The other reason there was no sleeping is it literally started pouring. As soon as the fireworks started, that sent everybody kind of running, grabbing some ponchos. And then it kind of eased up a little bit. And then as the finale kicked in, the rain kicked in again. And let's just say Belle Isle cleared out of here pretty quickly tonight. But it was still a great show. You guys saw it. Maybe one of those years where it would have been best to watch it on Local 4 at home, guys.
Oh, well, I agree with both ways. Obviously, lots of folks had fun watching on TV, but you just can't beat that experience up close.
That's the truth.
Thanks, Jason. By the way, if you did miss the fireworks or just want to see them again, we did post the video on clickondetroit.com.
Yeah, and don't forget, somebody is going to win $2,500 tonight. We're going to announce the big winner just a little bit later in this newscast.
President Trump responding tonight to the reports that 22 million more people would be uninsured under a new health care plan.
The president says you can't trust those numbers. A crook turns the tables on a security guard. We'll see why that guard tried to stop her and what she did when he tried.
And I'm meteorologist Andrew Humphrey. Yep, Jason mentioned it. Showers tried to crash the party over on Belle Isle and here in downtown Detroit, but didn't dampen spirits. How cool does it get tonight? Does it get any warmer this week? Got your full 7-day forecast on the way.
First, why are cops with troubled pasts still getting hired?
The liability attached to that person being on the road with a badge and a gun without the moral compass that we want our men and women to have.
The defenders uncover why some departments aren't able to do background checks on some officers before hiring them.
And we continue to follow breaking news in downtown Detroit. A woman shot just before the fireworks. It happened outside the Coleman Young building. The woman was near two people who were fighting. Somebody pulled a gun, and that woman was shot in the hip. She's just an innocent bystander. Police now have two people in custody. The woman's injuries appear to be non-life-threatening.
Next.
Let's go back out to our breaking news. As we just informed you at the top of the show, a woman has been shot in downtown Detroit. Let's listen into what Detroit police are saying. Mara?
Karen, the assistant chief is going to begin speaking momentarily. Let's take a listen. We're getting an update on it. Sounds like not just one shooting, but two. Chief, what can you tell us?
About 9:50 this evening, just before the fireworks started, we had shots ring out at Jefferson and Woodward, just forward of the KMAG, where the Spirit of Detroit statue is. What we were able to see, we heard maybe one or two shots. There was a group of people who basically pushed the barricades out the way, and it was like a small stampede of people who moved out. Police moved into the area where we heard shots fired. We were able to see there was one victim at the location. We also had additional officers who were within the Spirit Plaza, and they were able to secure the scene as well. We were able to recover one weapon, and we detained one adult and one juvenile. One of the things that we were able to do is respond almost immediately to the actual incident, because we have police everywhere. Today we have pretty much about 1,100 Detroit police, as well as other law enforcement departments out securing the fireworks. So the fireworks was what we would call a success, but we had a few knuckleheads that came out here and decided they wanted to argue, and by having that argument, it just caused a lot of people to have a lot of pain.
Chief, is there another shooting scene off of Lafayette?
Yes, so there's another shooting scene. This shooting scene, as far as we know, has nothing to do with the fireworks. It occurred in an area near Cass and Fort. And what happened was it was an argument that took place between occupants within a vehicle and some individuals who were outside of that vehicle. Don't know what the argument was about, but during the course of the argument, the individuals outside of the vehicle did fire shots. Unknown how many numbers of shots were fired. One of the occupants inside the vehicle sustained a gunshot wound to the stomach, and then there was another occupant who received a grazing wound. Both of those individuals were transported to a local area hospital.
But you do not think they were here for the fireworks? You think this was not connected to what was happening in Hart Plaza?
As far as we know right now, just because how the location of the actual incident took place, we're not attributing that to the fireworks.
What can you tell me about the victim right across from Hart Plaza here?
It was a black female. She was an adult. She had nothing to do with the argument that took place. It was an argument that we were able to, from eyewitnesses, took place between two males. We were able to get their description. From that argument, one of the males produced a weapon, fired shots. We were able to recover that weapon, and we did detain two individuals who matched the description. At this time, we was unable to determine if they were the actual ones who fired the weapon, because the weapon was recovered separate from both individuals.
Does it boggle your mind, Chief, that with all of you down here, I mean, so visible, that somebody in front of the Spirit of Detroit would pull out a firearm on fireworks night?
It more than boggles my mind. This is just a senseless act of stupidity and ignorance, and just one of those things. When you have knuckleheads who come downtown, where you have a family environment where people are trying to enjoy a special event, they get in an argument and they have to resolve their argument by drawing a weapon. It's just idiotic. It's idiotic. It's unacceptable.
Chief, thank you for your time. Karen, Steve, that is the latest on the situation down here. So two shooting scenes. The one over here at the Spirit of Detroit, where they have got two people in custody, an adult as well as a juvenile. And then we've got another shooting scene over at Fort and Cass. That is unclear whether it was related to the festivities down here, where you have two people who are injured from that shooting scene as well. We are live at Hart Plaza. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
All right, Mara. You know, you got to keep it in perspective, though, too. You got 1 million people who celebrated peacefully tonight, and some idiots who are going to put a cloud over the whole thing. So overall, it was a good story, good success, but what a shame.
We will stay on top of this. Thank you, Mara.
Thank you, Mara.
One of the state's top cops says enough isn't being done to weed out bad officers.
Now, the police profession looks bad, our agency looks bad.
Instead, problem cops are able to move from department to department.
Now we're caught flat-footed because we're not allowed to look at some of those things.
Many agencies don't share information when they fire an officer, allowing that bad cop to get hired again somewhere else.
Defender Kevin Dietz uncovered that it's happening dozens of times in Metro Detroit, and it will put everyone at risk.
When police get in trouble on the job for roughing up a citizen, drug and alcohol abuse, or insensitive racial or sexist remarks, often they are given a choice: resign or be fired. Many walk away, then end up right back on the beat at a new police department where no one is aware of their bad behavior.
They're unaffectionately called gypsy cops, where they move around, and sometimes the hiring agency doesn't have any knowledge of the background.
Sheriff Michael Bouchard says dozens of cops locally have been forced out and in some cases fired, only to end up across town patrolling streets and interacting with the public, potentially putting citizens at risk.
That's especially common in certain kinds of communities that may be financially stressed.
In 2015, Inkster police officer William Melendez was arrested, charged, and sent to prison for beating motorist Floyd Dent following a traffic stop.
They were trying to kill me.
Before Melendez was an Inkster cop, he worked in Detroit. He left after multiple lawsuits and a federal indictment were filed against him for roughing up citizens and tampering with evidence. Melendez tried to get a job at the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, but a background check raised multiple red flags. A short time later, Melendez was hired in Highland Park and in Inkster as a police officer.
To pin a badge on that person's chest after what had transpired at a different agency was a recipe for disaster.
Why should the police be immune from that? They should have some kind of oversight mechanism.
Greg Roll is Floyd Dent's attorney. He says Dent settled his lawsuit for $1.3 million, money taxpayers in the financially troubled city of Inkster had to pay.
We pushed 3 buttons on Google and found all the information necessary to scare us and to make sure that, and so let's say, what was he doing on the police force?
Residents we spoke with were shocked to hear many small police departments can't afford to do background checks.
You definitely should do a background check, you know, because you don't know what you're hiring.
And the problem's much bigger than just that. In Michigan, police agencies that force an officer to resign often refuse to tell any other agency why they did it, out of fear that they will be sued. Sheriff Michael Bouchard supports the new Senate Bill 223 that would force police agencies to create and keep records of why each officer left and make the departments immune from civil lawsuits for sharing the information. Some would like to see even more accountability. In Michigan, it is not permitted to have a prospective employee take a polygraph test, but some say before becoming a police officer, one should be quizzed on past crimes, lawsuits, and firings while hooked up to a lie detector.
When I became a police officer, I took a polygraph test. Why would you prohibit that?
It's also prohibited to look at an applicant's private social media accounts. You can learn a lot about a prospective police officer by what they post, but the law only allows employers to look at public accounts, not those with privacy settings.
I would like to know that the people who are looking over the city are, like, I can trust them.
Senate Bill 223 is currently in the House. If it passes there, it will go to the governor's desk for consideration. Law enforcement experts say that would be a good first step, but much more still needs to be done. Kevin Dietz, Defenders.
So, boy, we had a little thunder and rain and cold, a rainbow, sunshine.
Double rainbow. That's pretty
Only
nice
thing we didn't get
there.
is snow. That was the only thing we missed.
But it does remind you Mother Nature is always in control. Now, that being said, as you mentioned, Steve and Karen, everyone had a wonderful time down at the fireworks. And, yep, showers really didn't dampen spirits at all. And the showers are now leaving, ladies and gentlemen. We still have some left over here around Port Huron, even a couple of thunderstorms over southern Lake Huron. You can see some down here in Grosse Ile that will move over southern Ontario, and a couple already there. And the showers will be coming into an end within the next hour or two, and cool conditions tonight. Speaking of cool, this decade, 73 was the high today. That's the coolest day for the fireworks so far this decade. Later on tonight, it gets even cooler with partly cloudy skies. Temperatures drop into the low 50s. That's right, 51 to 52 degrees right here in the metro zone. Same thing is true throughout all of southeast Michigan. It's already a cool 58. Fortunately, the winds have died down. It'll be less breezy tonight, but it's already 52 for our friends over in Port Huron. 55 in Ann Arbor. Would not be surprised if some temperatures reach the 40s when you wake up tomorrow morning. You might need a jacket, but guess what? High pressure moves in. This area of low pressure responsible for some of those showers, it moves away. There's a very small chance late in the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock, of a teeny tiny shower across parts of the area tomorrow, but I think we'll see sunshine much of your Tuesday, and then warmer conditions after that. So 51 degrees overnight. We make it up to 74 tomorrow, slightly higher than today. There might be a shower or two in the afternoon, but it's a slimmer chance than what we had today. On Wednesday, a high of 80 degrees. Temperatures going in the right direction. A better chance of showers and even a few thunderstorms to round out the week. Low and middle 80s on Thursday and Friday. Still hanging near 80 degrees this coming weekend. Back over to you.
All right, and we'll be right back.